lines, ranging is horizontal lines, and then price pattern is what? A combination of the two. So if I assume I want to analyze this market, I'm going to have to draw my trend lines. Now, if I want to draw these trend lines, it's possible for me to draw more than 100 trend lines on this market. Do you know? Yeah. If some of you have seen my charts, yeah, you can draw plenty trend lines, and all of them will make sense. So you can draw trend lines, draw. But then in all of the drawing, only 2 trend lines are the most important to us. We're still going to treat how trend lines are drawn. But point is, we can have plenty trend lines drawn on this market. There are certain rules in drawing it. We can have plenty drawn on it, but we are only interested in 2 trend lines. And those 2 trend lines, I call them the action trend line and the confirmation trend line. The action trend line and the confirmation trend line. So we can have lots of trend lines on the market, but we are only interested in 2 kinds of trend lines, the action and the confirmation trend. So we're going to first of all try to explain what an action trend line is, to really look at it in depth to what we're doing. So we're going to look at action. So if you're writing, an action trend line is a trend line where the action of the market is currently at. An action trend line is a trend line where the action of the market is currently at. The keyword there is the action and currently at. The keyword there is the action and currently at. Please, can you shift this thing in such a way that it touches me? The keyword there is the action and currently at. Now, I often give this example that if assuming I'm coming to Wuse 2, yeah, I'm not from Abuja, but I know this is where people buy your stuff, ba. Where's that? There's this popular plaza, Banex. Yeah. I want to go and buy something in Banex. Do they sell cars in Banex? I don't flop. What's the popular thing they sell there? Phones. Good. So let's assume that I want to get phone in Banex. But then, okay, let's assume that I want to get a laptop in Banex. So I go into the plaza, I'm walking around. Most of the shops I'm seeing, they are just showing me phones. Come and buy phone, come and buy phone. Swap, buy and rent. They rent phone now. Come and buy, come and rent. Because what I have in my mind is to buy a phone, is to buy a laptop, I probably will not enter into those shops, right? I'll just be walking until I see the particular shop that has a laptop. In the same way with trend lines. There are plenty trend lines you can see on the market, a lot of it. But we are only interested in the one that has an action, a specific action that it is acting at. Now that action is what's going to define our entry strategy. That's what's going to define our stop loss strategy. All of these actions coming together to form one thing. So we're going to list a number of actions and we'll see how many of them we can treat today. So a number of actions we could see. One of them is a breakout and retest as an action. Another action is a fake breakout. Another action is a fake out. Another action is an invalidation. Another action is a continuation. Another action is imperfect retest. Another action is incomplete retest. Another action is a fib retracement. Specifically, symmetrical triangle. And then the last one, price patterns, that's not the symmetrical triangle. So these are different actions. Meaning that anytime I'm analyzing the markets, I am looking out to get any of this thing. Once I find any of this, it leads to something. So these are the actions that we are looking out for in the market. Like I said, you could have plenty trend lines, but you're looking out to see any of this. So in the markets, you could be seeing plenty things, telling you different things. But for me, I'm looking out to seeing any of this, and it works 100%. It works so good. So we're going to try to explain some of them, pending the time we have. And they also make, all of this is what I use in getting my entry. Now the entry is divided into what we have, the action and then the confirmation. But then you need to understand the action first before the confirmation. Please follow very, very well. This is very good. So let's first of all try to explain what the breakout and retest is. Now, a number of people when I first learned trading, this was the only thing they taught me, breakout and retest. Once the market breaks out, you retest, you have to do it like this. And then with time, I try to modify the other things to what you have now. So a breakout and retest is defined as a change in trend. A change in trend. To put in context, a market is buying. Let's assume that this market is buying like this. That was signifying this as a buying market. So it's just buying. He buys from here, he sells here, he buys from here. They call this one the higher low, higher high. All those big English. Higher high, higher low. So now when this market is buying. You know that a market cannot buy forever, right? Yeah. It can't just keep buying. At some point it's going to what? Stop buying and what? Start selling. So the process by which it changes that trend, it was buying before. The process by which it changes that trend from a buy to a sell is what we call a breakout and a retest, signifying a change in trend. This is how a breakout and retest is going to look like. The market is buying. It reaches here. Instead of continuing buying up, it breaks out. This is a breakout. The word breakout moves out of the trend line. And then the retest is when it goes back to that trend line. This is a breakout and retest. Then the next thing, the market begins to sell. It was buying here. This was a buy. Then a breakout happened and a retest happened. It has changed trend and it has now started selling. Do you understand? Yes. So it was buying before. Then a change of trend happened. A breakout and a retest. It stops buying. Now it starts selling. Do you understand me? Yes. Good. Let me try and do it again. For a sell. So assuming that the market is selling,
started precisely April 2020.
It gets here, breaks out and retests. Next thing it starts buying. So it was selling, now it's buying. So that's what? A change in trend. Do we understand? Do we understand? Do we understand? Yes. What is happening? Don't sleep, oh. Don't sleep on it. Yes. So what about this? What's happening here? What's happening here? What's happened there? What's this? Breakout and. So who can tell me the difference between this and what's happening there? So both of them, this was initially buying, This was initially buying. So what's the difference? Look at it very well. Look at it very well. Can we?
Change of transmission.
Huh? Same direction. Good. So this one was buying. The breaker happened where? Opposite direction. And then it retests. What happens? It starts selling. But this one was buying. The breaker happens what? In the same direction. Because this is a buying market. So if it breaks out above, it's still in the same direction of the buy. So this one breaks out up in the same direction and retests. What does it do after it retests? It continues buying. Do you see the difference? In A, there's a reversal. The breakout and retest is happening in A. Was buying before, then it starts selling. In B, there's what? Continuation. Do you get? So A is the breakout and retest. B is what? Are you following me? Yes. So A is initially buying, B is selling, C is selling. What do we call A? What do we call B? What do we call C? A is continuation. Do we all agree? Yes. Why? Because the breakout is happening in the same direction. Okay, B? B is what? So because it's a selling market, the breakout is happening where? So once it retests, what happens? It continues selling. And what about C? What? Good. So a breakout and retest is a change in trend, meaning that you're expecting to see the change in trend in the opposite direction. Are we good? Are we good? Let's look at the second action. Fake out, fake breakout. Let's look at fake breakout first. The second one, fake breakout. So now, just like the name says, fake of a breakout. Just divide this thing into two. This is breakout, which is the one we just referred to right now, and this is fake. So it's opposite of it. Do you get? So this one is opposite of the other one we've just seen. It's working against it. So for us to fully understand how a fake breakout works, there are two criteria that makes a market either to be a valid breakout or to be a fake breakout. We have to distinguish between the two. Both of them are similar. Just two things makes them different. Makes one a fake breakout, makes the other one a valid breakout. So we're going to look just to differentiate the two of them. For a valid breakout and a fake breakout. Trust me, this is one of the small missing pieces in people's analysis. Some people are very good with analyzing. They can do some of these things. But because they are missing these little parts, they just get taken out of the market. I told you when I first learned Forex, what I just knew was breakout and retest. But with time, after I was analyzing and losing some certain trades, I found out that it's not just breakout and retest that happens. Sometimes the market respects this. Sometimes the market respects fake out. Sometimes the market respects the other ones we're going to see. That's why it's very crucial you understand this. So to differentiate between a valid breakout and a fake breakout, for a market to be valid, one of the first criteria is that for it to be valid, it has to be seen beyond the 1 minute and the 5 minutes time frame. For a breakout to be valid, it has to be seen beyond the 1 minute and the 5 minutes time frame. For a breakout to be valid, it has to be seen beyond the 1 minute and 5 minutes time frame. Now, this is what I mean by that. If this market is buying, and then the breakout happens, this place that the breakout happened, can I see it beyond the 1 minute and 5 minutes? That means if I go to my 15 minutes, can I see it in my 15 minutes? Or my 30 minutes? If you are only seeing it just restricted within the 1 minute and 5 minutes, that means when you go, once you go to 15 minutes, you can't see it. It's not valid yet. You know, some people are too eager to trade. Once the thing don't come online, they go and enter. So I'm telling you now, it's wrong. Before you consider that market valid, you have to go to your 15 minutes and make sure that you can see it. If it's restricted within the 1 minute and 5 minutes time frame, it is not valid. It is what? A fake breakout. Do you understand? So once you're seeing it just at the 1 minute and 5 minutes, it is a fake breakout. So for it to be a fake breakout, it has to be seen at the 1 minute or only at the 1 minute and 5 minutes time frame. So before I can say the market is valid, the breakout, that part that has left the trend line, before I can say it's valid, I have to see it in the M1 or M5. I have to make sure I'm seeing it there before I can say yes, that is valid. The second one is, it has to be seen either below or above a support and resistance line. Level, rather, let's use the level. It has to be seen below or above a support and resistance level. Before I can say that I'm seeing a valid breakout. If this is what I mean, we've drawn this market is buying. We've just seen a perfect buy happening. He buys from here, once he gets here, he sells here, he gets here, he buys here, he gets here, he sells. Now, once he gets here, he buys, he gets here, he breaks out, and then retests. Now, that point that the market broke out and started to reverse to retest, if I draw a horizontal line, we're going to see all of this in the chart, but if I draw a horizontal line, if it's at the same level with that horizontal line, it is not a valid breakout. So if it's at the same level like this, it's a fake breakout. Below or above a support, and these are the levels I'm looking at. Again, if I have this buying and this breaks out like this, once this level is beyond this, is not at this, so this one is valid. So before I consider a market to be a valid breakout, I have to first of all make sure that I'm not seeing it only at the M1 and M5, and that the place the breakout happened is not at any level. Once I have a horizontal line drawn, I can see it either below or above the levels. That and then alone can I say that this is a valid breakout. But once it is the other way, whereby once you've drawn it, it's at the same level with any of the support or resistance level, it becomes what? Fake breakout. Do we understand? Do we understand? Yes. Do we understand? Yes. There are two criteria to knowing whether a market is valid, a breakout is valid or not. The first one is your ability to see it beyond the 1 minute and 5 minutes, and then the other is your ability to know whether or not it's below or above your support level. Now, this is important because each of these ones, they have their different entry pattern. That's the confirmation. They have the different ways you enter them. So if you cannot distinguish between the two, it becomes a problem for you to enter. So we need to first of all know that, yes, so before I know that this is a valid one, I have to see beyond the M1 and M5. If I know that this one is a fake, it has to be at the same level. Do we get? If you feel confused, don't worry, we'll see it in the chart. Let's look at the third one. Fake out, that's the third one. Now, a fake out is a good breakout. A good breakout that didn't retest, but rather goes back into the trend line and then retest into it. So a fake out is a good breakout that did not retest, but rather goes back into the trend line and retests into it. So this is how a fake out is going to look like. Again, the market is buying. The market breaks out well. That means it's a good breakout. For it to be a good breakout, it meets the two criteria. Seen beyond the 1 minute and 5 minutes, and is not at the same level with any of the support or resistance. So it breaks out very well. But now every breakout is supposedly meant to be accompanied by a retest. But then in this one, it did not retest here. This is how a breakout and retest is meant to be. A good breakout and retest. It makes a good one, and then, but instead of retesting like this, the market goes into the trend line and retests inside. Then it starts buying up. We understand? What's happening?
Yes.
Is this? I think we would have gone more basic with the learning, right? People are just looking at me. I like when my class is being followed by a number of people. Eh? It's too cold though. It's like we'll do exercise now. But we're following what I'm trying to say. So let me try that again. It's not hard though. Don't say it's hard. It's not. Even if it's hard, the kind of money you want to make in Forex, you think it's easy stuff? Imagine it's that indicator that you are using before. And that's the way to make money. All of us will be millionaires now. And when I started, they will tell you to carry one moving average, move two of them together, and then you take a buy. If it was that easy, what was that? What are we saying? My dad said will be trading Forex. So, the market is initially buying, and then the market breaks out. But then the breakout is not happening at any of these levels. And I can see this beyond the 1 minute and 5 minutes, meaning that it's what? Valid. Meaning that it's what? Valid. Okay, well, let's come back. What makes a market valid? Just what makes a breakout valid? There are two criteria. I didn't hear us. Seen beyond the M1 and M5, yes. And then the second. The second one is what? Above support. So this is valid because it's seen beyond the M1 and M5 and is not at any of these levels. But now, instead of retesting back, it goes all the way inside and then retests inside like this. Do we understand? Yes. So now what do I call this? A what? So what happens after this? The market begins to buy. So this is a fake out. Do we understand? Do we understand? Yes. So we know how a fake out looks. We know how a fake breakout looks. We know how. Now this is how a fake out looks on a lower time frame. What's this? What's this? Look at it very well. Everyone? Can you see it? Yes. So it's a fake out? Yes. No. Yes. What's the first thing that makes a fake out a fake out? What's the first thing? No. It has to be what? It has to be what? Is this a good breakout? Yes. Eh? Yes. It's not a continuation. No. Look at it again now. Look at it very well. Look at it very well. Look at it very, 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 very well. Look at it very, very. Okay. If you say it's a fake out, let me see your hand. If you say it's a continuation, let me see your hand. Both of them. So you say it's a fake out. Can you tell us why?
Because one is a valid breakout.
Okay.
Let's assume it's on the 1 minute.
Beyond 1 minute and 5 minutes.
And 5 minutes. And it's not related to any of the resistance of the level. So that means it's a valid breakout. But then it came back into the trend and retested. So that means
He's about to buy.
it's about to go up.
Okay.
We may not know if it's continuation, but we assume it's going to break out to go on up.
Okay. So who says it's continuation?
Same as us.
Bro, yeah. Tell us why. Because he's going in the same direction. Do you agree with him? He doesn't know what he's saying, but. So first off, he has to be a good breakout. Okay, so let's assume that this one is fake out. Assuming I've not said it is. What about this one? What's B? Okay, B is the continuation. What are we saying? You know what? Let me ask those people outside. I'll come back. Just 1 minute. I'll come back. So how are we doing? Are we following? Are we? I beg, go follow. Do you understand the thing we talked about, fake out and fake breakout? What happened? You don't understand it? The network? No. It's self-explanatory now. So which one don't we understand? What's the breakout? The breakout is a... Yes, too dry. What's happening? Huh? The breakout is what? So when a change in trend, thank you, a change in trend is initially buying, he breaks out and retests, and then begins to sell, change in trend. Do you understand? So for it to be a fake breakout, he has two criteria. We talked about this now. What are the two criteria? 1 minute and 5 minutes here. Support and resistance now, good. So we now talked about a fake out. That the fake out has to first of all be a good breakout. It has to first of all be a good breakout, and then if not retest, it goes inside and then retests inside before the market starts moving, right? So based on what we said, do you think A is a fake out? Do you think B is a fake out? Whoa. A is a fake out, then B is what? So two of them are fake out. Did we talk about continuation? Where you guys say when we talk about continuation? So which of them is, one of them is actually continuation. See? There's no C now. I don't know what they are doing though. You guys tell me. This one is plain. This one is plain. Well, you should follow, Sha. I'll come back. So I'll try to explain it once I... You've got second camera. It's like those outside that really understand more than you people. What's happening? So which one is which? Have we agreed? Wait. We have all agreed on something, right? Yeah. So we have a consensus now. No. Everybody's saying the same thing.
No. Excuse me, sir.
Blessed, what's up?
Blessed. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
You see this the middle one. First of all, you draw the slide.
We've not asked the answer. Oh.
Wait, first let's draw the let's see if this is breakout. Now, we don't know of this middle one.
But we've not asked to.
This one here is
We've not asked now. We've not asked. No. We've not asked. So, but I believe that all of us know the answer. So if we go home now, everybody knows the answer. Can we say it together? So A is what? B is what? Hey. So what makes, A is a continuation. What makes it a continuation? It has to first of all be a good breakout. And a good breakout happens in the opposite direction. Do you understand? A good breakout first of all happens in the opposite direction. So the market is buying, then it breaks out. It was selling, it breaks out where? Downwards. Do you understand? So it's breaking out downwards. It's not a good breakout. We can't consider it a good breakout. Do we get? What about B? He was selling. The market broke out where?
Opposite direction.
And then
Came back inside.
so B is what? Do you understand? What happened now? But majority of us failed it too. But he's the only one that got it. This is my brother. What's your name? Obina. Yeah, we'll give you something. How much do you want? Mention no. How much do you want? I should fund your account. With how much? Talk now. Fast. What? How much did you say? You agreed, yo. But we found your account is $100. I think that should go. Now let's look at the fourth one. Let's look at the fourth one, invalidation. So this is how an invalidation is going to look like. When a market moves in and out of the trend line, we call it an invalidation. Now before we go into the charts to really look at it, let me be sure that we fully understand. So let's look at this and try to understand what each of them is. There's something I plugged this thing on. If I now plug it into my system, it's in the office. Let's check what those online are saying. So those online, if you know the answer to any of them, either A, B, C, E, you can tell us. Please, can you call that again? Okay. So those online, I want to hear from them first so that we make sure that everyone is following. So I'm going to tell you what they said so that can give you a cue. So you know that you know what you're going to say. So some are saying that A is a breakout and retest. I don't know. I'm not saying yes, so I'm just saying what they're saying. C is a continuation, that's what they are saying. Another one says that A is a continuation. Another one says that E is a continuation. I don't know. Another one says that A is a breakout and retest. I don't know. Then they said B is a fake out. I'm seeing plenty things. Nice. Let me ask those at the other side to be sure they are also following. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We good? So what's A for us? A is what? Agree with us. B? Eh? Look at it very well now. You say continuation, let's see your hands. You say breakout retest, let's see your hands. For B. So yes, I agree it's fake out. Why is it not a continuation? Because the breakout is happening in the opposite. So what about C? Breakout and C is selling, no? Breakout and continuation. Why? Because breakout is happening in the. What about D? Because they are building in what? The same trend. What about F? E is the one at this edge. So they are the same level. When they are the same level. Eh? When they are the same level, no. The breakout has happened, but yes, but it's at the same level. The breakout is at the same level with it. Eh? What makes a breakout valid? There are two things that make a breakout valid. And support and resistance, good. So when they are the same support and resistance, it becomes what? It becomes what? So this one is. Yeah, you cannot say with confidence. Is what? I agree with you, it's a fake breakout because it's at the same level. So what about F? It's buying, no. It's buying now. So it's buying. Where did the breakout happen? Is it a good one? Because it's buying now. Follow. What's that for? Follow me now. It's buying, eh? It's in the same direction as the buy. Do you understand? Because it's in the same direction as the buy is what? Continuation. Do you understand it? If it was happening downward here, we'd call it a fake out. If it was happening downward. Because a fake out has to first of all be a good breakout. Do we get? And then what about G? What about G? Fake out. When I'm done showing this there, I want you to come inside. I want to show you something. In that other side. Yeah. No. Not with the phone. No. It's easy. Oh. So are we good? Yeah. So what's A? Breakout and what about B? Eh? No. Look at it very well, oh. Someone said invalid, that's fake breakout. Do we agree that it's a fake breakout? So it's what? I agree with us, it's a fake out. What about C? Eh?
It blocks out the direction of the trend. This is continuation. So it's continuation.
So, what are we going with? Correct. What about D?
Continuation.
What is continuation? What about E? Eh? Why? So wait, oh, it's at the same level.
No. It broke out. They came back inside.
It's at the same level.
Invalidation.
It's at the same level.
No, it's not the same level. Validation. It's not the same level.
So, but what it could actually have been a fake breakout. What makes it not to be a fake breakout? Because it's not a breakout. Because it's happening at the same. So what about F? I want to. There's something I have in this thing. I want to put it here to see if I can see it. So I just want you around in case I need any help trying to do it in this TV. So I want to. Okay, I want to have it around in case I have any problem trying to put it. Do you understand? Yes, it's already here. This file. So I want to transfer it here. But when I'm done with this thing, it's here.
Okay, already transferred it.
Yeah. Move. So what's F? Now wow, invitation for everywhere. There's a show, there's a folder. Yes. Did you get what I said? I'm trying to move it. I said I want you around so that in case if there's a problem. So what is F? I'm going to agree that it's a continuation. And then G? Huh? G is what? That's a fake out? I don't agree. So G is a fake out. I don't think it has stayed original. What happened?
I'm not sure.